Hey everybody, Shay here. Welcome back to another unboxing video of two more boxes that came in this morning. This is for the anthology, I'm certain of it, and it came in, there you go. So I mean, it got shipped out on Thursday, the 19th of March. They arrived on the 23rd. So that's some pretty quick turnaround. This order probably went in Monday evening or something because I had to do a correction on it. And then they printed it in like 2 days and sent it out, and it arrived in 3 business days. Or I mean, it traveled through the weekend, I'm sure. But in any case, let's take a look at the boxes to begin with. So I mean, I brought them in, but sometimes I don't give a strong check. So that's a shallow. I mean, again, the last campaign that came in, the one with the bigger campaign, these corners right here just split right down the side. So these ones are my favorite kind of boxes so far. Every small box like this has come in perfectly because they have reinforced lining on the inside. Lining, is that, I don't know, the reinforcement. It's a reinforcement cardboard wall kind of thing. So it really helps out. Let's open this up and let's take a look. All right, I'm looking forward to this one for sure. It does have some extra buffer in here just to make sure they don't shift around. And this is the wall that I was kind of talking about. So they have this extra trim in here for the support. I mean, definitely secures the corners here. Yeah, I would have to say it's a simple thing, but I will keep mentioning it because it's awesome. This reinforcement is sweet. All right, why I'm looking forward to these books is because, oh, it is. Oh, it feels so good. Okay, so I put in an order for, this is called a, oh my God, I wish I looked this up before hitting record and checking. Anyway, what I'm saying is, you ever buy one of those books and the cover just feels like it has this like soft fur on it, but like super soft fur. I mean, it's not a gloss, but it's because obviously it's not shiny as you can see, but it's kind of like matte, but the cover is almost, it's got this, it's so soft. Anyways, I've always wanted to know what that was called or how to order it. I just took a guess. I'm like, it had soft in the title, so I'm like, it must be soft. That's what I'm feeling when I touch books like this. Soft. Anyways, and here's the back of it. I cleaned up the URL there. I haven't been doing that for the comic books because I want them all to look consistent, and so they all have the kind of more grungy URL, which is what I used to put in there. And so I've kept them all the same for the comic books and even for the Breachspace magazine. But this is the new one that's gonna come out. I like that. I love that font. It's so clean and it's kind of like, I don't know, it fits the character. Anyways, and it kind of matches this font, and it's very clean design, as you can see. And this, of course, is from art by artist Harry Clark from the early 1900s. But in any case, I love his art. The cover of Breachspace, this right here, that's also Harry Clark right there from Breachspace Figments. I just felt like using his art for some of these like books, just because, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the public domain, but in particular, I love this guy's art. And I mean, I'll prove it because I even have something on the wall where I printed out a couple of his other illustrations. So there's more Harry Clark's, but no, these are public domain. Anyone can use these images. I just wanted to integrate them into XEI products because I am such a huge fan, and this art is free to use. So I figured I would use them for some cover art. So let's take a look in here. It's a gloss interior. It's standard stock paper, and there you go. Just for you to see kind of the quality of the print. Very clear, man. Very clean and very clear. I'm very proud of this one, man. I have to tell you, this would never have gotten printed had it not been for Kickstarter and Raven Evermore's campaigns, because I wouldn't have run a campaign independently for this product or the Breachspace Figments. It just came to mind. I was like, you know, it'd be cool is if I just, it all takes part in Breachspace, which is where Raven Evermore takes place. And I figured what would be cool is just have a supplement that people could pick up as an extra, as part of any campaign that is part of this world. And it just gets me to publish this stuff that was basically going to languish on my hard drive for ages. This was originally done in 2012, and that's when this product was compiled and edited and all that stuff. But I started work on this thing, like gathering like writers to work on it back in 2008, I think is when I started, 2008, 2009, and then I kind of wrapped it up in 2011 and put it together for one day. Maybe I would produce it as something. I was releasing this as a PDF online, just, you know, for people who wanted. I used to have a website for Breachspace, and yeah, it just used to be something that people could grab. I love the spine too. I love this. I can't wait to make more books with trade dress like this. I've got plans. We'll see. I don't know. I would do another one of these. I mean, this was volume 1 because I had an idea here for Breachspace that this would be a continued series, and I would hire writers out there that wanted to work on a shared world. My biggest inspiration for the shared world idea was George R.R. Martin with his Wildcard series, and of course everyone knows him from his Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But for me, I was first introduced to George R.R. Martin as an editor on the Wildcards series. So, and that was in the 80s. I was 10 when I mean, I shouldn't have been reading that particular stuff when I was 10 to 13. But hey, I turned out fine. But it's basically something happens in the world where it mutates people or it gives them powers, and they end up being called aces or jokers. And then it's kind of like it's kind of an alt world of that. And a bunch of his sci-fi friends that he used to do tabletop gaming with, they contributed to the work. And George R.R. Martin put it together, edited, etc., and he released the Wildcard series. And as a kid, that always stuck with me. And as a teenager, I was like, one day I would love to do something like that. In my 20s, I started to do a lot of website contributions into forums and stuff like that, starting fan groups and things. And then by the end of my 20s and in my 30s, I started this stuff, Breachspace. And then building on top of this was Raven Nevermore as the first comic set in this world. And the idea being that everything I created would, in some fashion, tie back into Breachspace, but I wouldn't always be clear about how it all kind of tied in. I would leave that up to the kind of reader to either stumble upon it or not, or it wouldn't matter. I wanted things to kind of be standalone, but also be able to be more of a shared world as I went. So yeah, so there you go. I'm very happy about this. And so yeah, let's pull a couple more out. I'm sure that, here, let's just take out a stack. I mean, they're all perfect quality. So, you know, I had the bundle deal on the campaign, which would be for, like, for example, if any of these corners were like just bent more than, you know, was comfortable, or if the spine had a nick in it, I would put them onto separate piles, and they would be part of the bundle. Now, I limited that to 10 because, I mean, I didn't know what kind of quality these would come in, and so it might turn out that people who bought the bundle package for the comics and with the Breachspace included, so this and the magazine, you might just get perfect Breachspace Chronicles because they all look really, really good. Now, I remember getting a pretty high quality stock here for the cover. I didn't want to mess around because I wanted to make sure I could replicate this. I'll check the next box just to kind of do a surface check just in case there's anything I need to record for insurance purposes, you know. No, but I mean, that's a sample of what, 5 books. And really good quality. I mean, the pages are they're cut nicely. The covers are bound nicely. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this kind of binding that came off this printer. I mean, look how clean that looks, man. Yeah, like I said, I might reach out to some other indie writers out there. You know, if this kind of gets any traction and if people are interested, maybe I'll kick this off again for some other future campaign editions or something. But for the people who pick this up and they end up reading it, let me know what you think, and we'll see if we can't get any more of these done. Oh, and for context, these are manga standard size right there. So that's 5.5 by 8. So 5.5 by 8. I mean, there's my hand size for comparison. It's a pretty standard size cut for a book. And man, oh man, I am really looking forward to printing more books like this. These are, I mean, I'm pretty friggin' happy about the turnout for this and the feeling. It feels so good. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up, and next box we open is going to be for Raven Nevermore number 6. I will catch you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.